my friends. I hope you're having a wonderful day. This week we are talking a lot about plants and seeds. Plants are everywhere. They may not all look the same, but they're all plants. Trees are plants, grass is plants, bushes, flowers, vegetables, fruits, they all grow from plants. And even though they don't look the same, they all started out the same. They all started as seeds. And this week, I wanted to read a story to you called The Tiny Seed. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? And you can see our tiny seed right there. One of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall, icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind. But the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops, and the seeds fall gently down onto the ground. A bird comes by and eats one of the seeds. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seeds settle down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still, and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. Now it is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full that they start to burst open just a little bit. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are becoming plants. First they send their roots down into the earth. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up towards the sun and air. There is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed. And it takes all the sunlight and all the rain away from the other small new plants. And that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry, little seed. But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from the seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, and then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone, and it grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. All summer long, the birds and the bees and the butterflies come visit. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler. The wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down onto the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower's seeds pod opens up. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away on the wind. The end. Now it's going to start the whole process over again. I love that story. I think it would be so neat to have a beautiful flower bigger than your home. And I'm sure it would make all the people and the butterflies and the bees and the birds incredibly happy. Today I thought we could do an activity together to make our own big and beautiful flower. The things you will need will be a coffee filter. This was in your packet. Some markers. And if you don't have markers, you can ask your mom or dad to maybe put some water with food coloring in it. And a spray bottle. And you'll need something to put your coffee filter on top of. This might get a little messy, so you might want a plate or a tray or a spot where you can get where it can get wet. So you're going to take your coffee filter, you're going to put it on top of whatever it is that you decide to put your coffee filter on. Just remember, we're going to make this wet, so whatever you put it on, you want to make sure it doesn't get ruined if it gets wet. Then you're going to take your markers if you have them. I have orange, pink, purple, and blue. And you're going to take whichever color you want to start with. I'm going to start with blue. And you want to color on your coffee filter. You don't want to color draw a picture, because what we're going to do after we decide to fill up the coffee filter with marker is we're going to spray it, and all the colors are going to mix together. So if you draw a picture, your picture won't be there after you spray it. So I would just kind of scribble and make your own colors, whatever those colors you want them to be, on there. So maybe I'll add a little bit of purple, because we're going to turn this into a beautiful flower, and your flower can be whatever color you want it to be. So I'm going to add a little purple on there. Maybe I'll add a little pink. I like pink flowers too. We have some neighbors that had some beautiful trees that had pink flowers on them. They always made me feel really happy when we would go on walks. And if you don't have markers, you can always use watercolor or food coloring. So this would be, if you had food coloring, you could put it in there, put a little bit on your paintbrush, and just carefully dab it onto your coffee filter. Now if you're using food coloring and water mixed together, you won't need to spray it because all of the beautiful colors will mix together. But if you are done and you use markers, the next step will be to take your spray bottle, hold it up, and carefully spray your coffee filter with water. Just a little bit. And soon you will see all of the colors blend together. And if you carefully tip your plate or your tray from side to side, maybe with Mom and Dad's help so that it doesn't drip everywhere, all those colors will start to mix. See how there's a little bit of blue in the pink and a little bit of purple in the blue? So we're going to let that sit. And that is going to be wet, so you will have to let it dry. You can take it off of your plate and put it on a dry surface if you can, but it's going to take about an hour or two to finally dry. And when it does, all of the colors will blend together into a beautiful watercolor. And then you can add a stem and leaves and make your own flower if you would like. And maybe you could hang it in the window. And you can do this as many times as you would like, or as many times as Mom and Dad will allow you to use up the coffee filters. If you make your own watercolor flower, I would really love to see how it turns out. You're such wonderful artists, and I love to see your work. I hope that you are happy, I hope you are healthy, and I will talk to you very soon. I love you and I miss you. Besitos, my friends.